Good morning, Florida Southern, and welcome to the New News Show. I'm your host, Tyler Hillier.
And I'm your new host, Jackqulyn Washington.
And we're here to inform you on what's going on in politics today. So let's not waste any time. The first month of Donald Trump's presidency has come to a close. And with it, he defied expectations yet again and passed an important presidential milestone. That's right, his time will officially not be the shortest in American presidential history. Sorry, folks, but it's true. The 32-day record set by William Henry Harrison in 1841 remains untouched. And for many, not only were their hopes dashed believing Trump would be removed, so were their wallets. Thanks, John. Maybe next time. But as we head into month 2 for the administration, we can expect some new things and some old things. There are already talks that Trump will be releasing a new executive order on immigration that essentially has the same effect as his original travel ban. In Hollywood, this is called a reboot. And in a Hollywood presidency, it's a reboot order. So the question is, are we talking a Batman Begins sort of reboot? Or will it end up like Terminator Genesis? Only time will tell.
In other news, a student group at Yale University is attempting to lobby the administration to allow women into all-male fraternities. According to the Yale Daily News, the group N-Gender coordinated the attendance of female students at the fraternity Sigma Phi Epsilon's Rush events. Citing Title IX legislation, N-Gender seeks to convince the Yale administration to intervene in the single-gender membership policies of fraternities as established by their bylaws of their national organizations. Co-directors of the group said restricting fraternity membership to only males is a form of sex discrimination. Is denying people into Greek organizations based on sex a problem on college campuses?
Here to answer these questions and more is our guest, Kara Donnelly. All right, Kara, thank you for being here with us again.
Thank you for having me, Tyler.
2 times in a row. Thank you. All right, so let's talk about this. I'm a fraternity guy. Do you want to be in a fraternity with me? Is that a good idea?
I don't see why not, Tyler. I think it would be a great idea for women to be in a fraternity. I think it would balance it out a little bit. Maybe sororities aren't for everyone. So I think it would be a good idea to allow, a woman in a fraternity if that's how she feels. If she's comfortable with being in a fraternity, then there's no reason why she shouldn't be allowed to.
Okay, but I understand why the girl, if she's comfortable, but what if the guys aren't comfortable? Should a college really compel the men of the fraternity to accept women?
I think that should be based by chapter. So Sigma Phi Epsilon, maybe their chapter agreed that they wanted to have women in their fraternity, but I think it should be by chapter. So if any other fraternity didn't want women to be in their, fraternity, then that's up to them. But if Sigma Phi Epsilon wants women in their fraternity, then I think by all means they should be able to have women in their fraternity.
All right, Jackqulyn, let's hear from you. Why should men stay in fraternities and women in sororities, in your opinion?
Well, I just think that's the way they were founded and established by their founders, some in the 1800s before these colleges even existed. And I think the college themselves are wrong, trying to step in and tell a completely separate organization who they can and cannot accept. And they're saying it's on citing Title IX legislation, which if you read all of Title IX, the end of it, it says this is excluded for fraternities and sororities. So the people creating this, claiming they're trying to eliminate sex discrimination, recognize that fraternities and sororities were founded for a separate reason and that it's not considered discrimination. So I just don't see the argument.
In the dictionary, it says a fraternity is a group of people with shared interests in profession. So there are social fraternities and professional fraternities, and something like Delta Sig, who is a professional business fraternity, allows women. I don't see why a social fraternity shouldn't be allowed to. And yes, I understand the tradition side of it. Tradition is super important. However, tradition changes with time. So maybe something that was established in the 1800s isn't prevalent to what is in 2017.
All right, Jackqulyn, we'll give you the last word.
I just think that the fact that you just said that there are already co-ed fraternities, there's no reason for them to go towards this single-sex fraternity and make them change their rules when there's other options for them, like a sorority or a co-ed professional fraternity or a social group. There's no reason to attack them for their traditions because there's other options for them.
All right. Thank you, guys. And I have to tell you, you both get bids from me.
Thanks, Tyler.
So let's go over to John now for the Mock Minute.
Thanks, Ty. Mocks. Baseball season's in full swing, and that means our team will get a chance to play the Detroit Tigers. Now, last year we almost won, so this year's game will probably be just as good. The game will be held in the new and improved Joker Marchant Stadium from 1 to 4. Remember, it's free for students. All you have to do is pick up your free ticket at the Center for Student Involvement. Another free event for students is the musical comedy, I Love You, You're Perfect, Now Change. The musical follows several relationships from the very first date to the day they get married. The relationships are supposed to be spoofs on the modern-day dating scene and include some musical numbers that will make you laugh. The musical will be showing all this weekend and ends Sunday, so be sure to go out and watch before it's gone. Speaking of this weekend, Andrew Plan will be performing in Babcock Gardens this Friday, February 24th. The outdoor concert would take place from 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. and it is yet another way to get a passport credit for everyone part of the 2020 class. Go out, have fun, and stare at the stars while listening to a great performance. That's all we have for the Mock Minute. Back to you, Ty.
Thanks, John. Well, that's all we have for you today, Florida Southern. Thanks for stopping by. I'm your host, Tyler Hillier.
And I'm your co-host, Jackqulyn Washington.
And I'm your guest, Kara Donnelly.
And we'll see you back here next week for another spirited debate and a rousing episode of the new news show. And remember, the buck stops here.